And we are live. Just getting off the keto cookout. And we're just working it. And we're still learning here. And let me go ahead and make sure I just get a little bit on top of what I'm doing here. There we go. StreamYard. Yep, I'm there. I'm in my holiday garb, even though I'm not going to a holiday. But hey, every day is a holiday that you survive, right? So here I am. And let me go ahead and throw up a banner or two. There we go. Yep, we've gotten pretty complex here. We're going all out with the technology today. I guess I could grab my ukulele. We could play a little ukulele. I don't think it's in tune, but I mean, we could make it a total island show, right? No, we can't. Okay. Welcome to a really big shoe. And I hope everybody's doing well on this wonderful night. Hey there, Laura. How you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can bring up another page here real quick. I like to throw some weather up there. Got a hurricane trying to bear down on the United States, and we don't want to get caught, unaware. Not that everybody else on the internet isn't also doing the same thing. There they go, National Weather Service, and we're going to bring this up, and there you go. We're going to make it one for one. There we go. That's the one. Hello, Susan. Good to see you. Hello, hello, hello. How are you? How are you? Or, we got to hang 10 or something, right? Hey, Insanity. How you doing, Renee? Evening to everybody. Here we are on a beautiful evening, I think, for Tuesday. I wish I had a good moon shot. I need to find some great shots for some celestial watching. There we go. Hey, Mike, good to see you. All right, hurricane, him, cane. Anybody get a cane? Can I get a cane? No, you can't because we're trying to cut down on the sugar cane, right? That was a good one. Let's go ahead and throw up a quick satellite shot. We'll take a quick look at the various areas. We'll go with a full disc here. And we'll go with a water vapor, band 9, animation loop. And we'll throw in about, what do you think, 84? It sounds good to me. Good to see moonshine. No moonshine shots. Come on, man. Cut me some break. All right, there we go. This is the hurricane. But you see this great big area of low pressure coming in. It looks like the low pressure is centered there over Minnesota into Wisconsin. That's going to pick this up and take it away. Take it away, Sammy. We don't want it anymore. That's right. It's going to be kind of a problem here for parts of the Dominican Republic, probably the small islands out here. But I don't see it coming into the US of A. There we go. And I'm sure I'm killing it on the volume. I apologize there. I'm glad you are well. Everybody is doing well. Laura's well, Susan's well, Mike is well. We're just having, hello, my weight loss. How you doing? Good to see you. Everybody's well. Hello, Matthew. Good to see you, Matthew. Thank you for saying hi to me in the last show. And we do see, I did invite our friend here, the homesick Buckeye, into here. So that'd be great. We'll just have some laughs. We'll chitty chat about this, that, and the other thing. And I have a couple of questions for people tonight. I'm going to throw out some questions. Again, I am asking for people to go ahead and smash the like button and subscribe. I know most of you already have. We don't know. Now, I saw Limitless Lindy was on before, and I watched one of her videos today. She was talking about her trip to the dentist and the periodontal condition she was dealing with, and how her periodontal condition improved on the carnivore diet, which is absolutely amazing. I can attest to that. I've been having lots of dental issues, And I'm ending up, I believe every single tooth in my mouth is going to end up having a crown. And I have a bridge over here, and I have a couple missing teeth in the back, but who cares? Who needs teeth, right? Yep, very, very nice people following the rule. Thank you there, Mike. Now, Mike, I haven't seen you in a hot minute, so I'm gonna go ahead and go out on a limb and say you've been busy editing and doing other things. I'm glad to see that you've been busy. That's a real good thing. This evening I was off. I wasn't even sure I was going to be here tonight because I was off doing a service work. We have the opportunity at our local, at my church, and we host a rivalry football game, and the home team we feed, and we oh my gosh, you guys would be so happy. Are you ready for this? I gotta make sure all my buttons are done. I hate it when a button's not done. Guess what we did? We did a steak feed for the home football team, and we did ribeyes for 120 people, and we had about 40 ribeyes left over. But they were itty bitty ribeyes, almost like steakums, I didn't bother. They didn't bother. I was like, y'all eat those. Those are little slices of meat. Call me when you make a real steak. But yeah, we got 120 people. Oh, snazzy shirt. I know. It's like vacation. You know, ready for this? You know why? Do you know why? Can anybody hazard a guess why I am wearing this shirt today? Come on. First person to get it right gets to look at a satellite picture. No. The reason I'm wearing it is because I can. Yeah. Yeah. So the bottom line is I've had some shirts hanging in my closet for a minute I couldn't get into. So I'm going to bring up the next question, something I like to do here on a regular basis. All right. Somebody lead us off. Lead us off. What are your non-scale victories today? Right? Yeah, it fits. That's exactly right, Karen. It is awesome. Thank you for coming on in. I appreciate you, everybody. I hope everybody here is my birthday. No, when I wear my birthday, matter of fact, on my next birthday, when I turn 62 and I'm eligible for Social Security, but I'm not going to take it. I will wear a shirt my mother made for me, and hopefully it will fit me. I went home on leave one time, last century plus. And I went home, and my mom took me out shopping, and she said, Scotty, I want to make you a shirt, because obviously I wasn't appropriately dressed. I said, okay, Ma. And my mother is a very good seamstress, because she had to be. Anyway, so we went out and bought some fabric. She said, pick your fabric. I picked fabric, a light linen that was Raggedy Ann and Raggedy Andy fabric. So you have Raggedy Ann and Raggedy Andy and those characters all over the fabric. My mom said, are you sure? I said, yeah. And then I picked out this shirt. It just has a few buttons, like a pullover. And I said, I want these buttons. And I had the buttons 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I had some other things on it. It looked like Sesame Street meant the 60s on acid or something, right? I love that shirt. And I would wear that shirt all the time. And people would look at me, but because I'm 6'5" and 250, 260 pounds, they're like, hey, he can wear whatever he wants. And I'd walk around with a stuffed yellow duck or a walrus, stuffed like a walrus little toy. And I was stationed overseas, and I'd walk around, and I'd walk into the little pub with my duck and maybe I'd wear a hat, and I'd walk with my duck, and I was off the reservation, off the chain, uncontrollable, and I had a good time. At least I thought I did. I realize now I wasn't really having a good time, but I still have that shirt. And if you remind me next August the 5th, well, this is 4.5, and we don't have a 4.5 day. August the 5th, That was a joke. I will wear my shirt my mom made for me. It's awesome. All right, all right, all right. That's it. Here we go. Here's Mike's channel. There you go. Make sure you got that. That's right. It fit. And Mike says, that's my NSV. Clothes are starting to fit better. Roger that. Tinnitus is better too. Yeah. Did you do the tapping thing Adams did? It didn't work for me. But I think I understand I think I understand my tinnitus a little bit. Renee says the neuropathy in my feet. Oh, amen. Amen. Tested doctor yesterday showed. All right. That is flipping awesome. I suffer from asthma, and my sleep apnea won't get better. You have a Jerry Garcia tie, you might have it tucked away in an ice cream bucket. All right. Yeah, that's awesome, Renee. Absolutely love it. Love it. The stiffness in the knee. You know what? I get that. And this finger here, I ended up with some arthritis in it earlier today. And I don't know why I had it. The arthritis was just killing it. But now, no worries. It's good. A neuropathy, yeah, and feet a lot better, improving. Hey, who's your carnivore? How you doing, buddy? How you doing? Good to see you. Good news. Oxygen is 95. There's got to be some scientific evidence that will show us that this whole carnivore thing, and you know me, personally, I'm thinking it's the stearic acid, because stearic acid in beef and tallow and all that, and some other thing, stearic acid causes such a frenzy in your mitochondria that it has to be helping. Okay, what are we saying here? Scott, you make me laugh. My humor. Normally I have a cigar in my humidor. No, I get you. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm glad everybody's saying hello. How are you? Yeah, a lot of awesomeness. Karen's gone to Virginia. How long, Karen? Inquiring minds. Yes, meat heals. Now wait. Meat heals. It means that the meat you eat heals, not meat heals like hooves, right? Because meat and heels is also too kinky for me. Okay, there you go. Hey, everybody's good. So I give you a drum roll. I weighed myself today, and I weighed myself off schedule. Yes, I did. But before we talk about my weight, which we know really isn't important, my knee was injured 98 pretty bad. It got worse over the years. Bone on bone. Ouch. Yes, but you'll get more you get more stearic acid if you get, let me get my phone. Pardon me. If you get cocoa butter. Now, I know before people get all frosted, don't anybody get frosted, okay? I'm not in the mood to get frosted today, all right? Let me see. I know I took a picture of this bag. And I know I've tagged them at it before. But, sweet mother of pearl, where is this thing? Doodly. I take too many pictures. That's a problem with being a wannabe photographer. You take too many pictures. Really? Seriously? Come on. Oh, recent. We're looking at recent. I cannot believe my phone is beating me up. My phone doesn't love me anymore. My phone just beats me up. But if you get cocoa butter, all right? I know I took a picture of this cocoa butter. Come on. We'll deal with it later. But cocoa butter is 45% stearic acid. And I get cocoa butter. I get a version of it that is organic. And I put it in my coffee. You know how people put butter in their coffee? If you put cocoa butter in your coffee, so good. Okay, Karen says she's on day 80. Sweet. I'm like on day 55. Cows can identify as anything they want to. Yeah. I don't want to talk about that. That is dangerous. I was praying carnivore would help pain. I did not expect to help my breathing. Yes. Yes. As an asthmatic, 6 month carniversary, Hoosier. You're gonna do something special? What are you gonna do? Avocado? It's fat. I am so not into the dogma. I am not. It's going to get better. That's sweet. That is sweet. Brett. All right. All right. Did I miss anything? All right. We're good. Keep going. Got to keep going. Y'all lighten up. Oh, hey, wait. We've got homesick Buckeye waiting in the and there he is, man, the myth, the legend.
What's going on there, brother? What's going on?
Hey, look, we're just talking about some non-scale victories, and Elisa's talking about being 2 months. Susan, with people, daughter, grandkids stop by for immunization. Note that I look smaller. Sweet, sweet. No knee replacement. Yeah, I tell you what, if I had to do anything right now, wow, good job, Karen. Good job losing 49 pounds.
Yeah, I
I
bet.
gotta be, I gotta be honest with you. If I had anything scheduled like a surgical right now at this point in time in my life, I would I would put it on hold for no other reason than I don't think, and I'm not much of a thinker, you know that. I don't think that the medical literature of the last 50 years, let's go 40 years, the last 40 years, I don't think the medical literature has much to say about what happens to a human body on what we like to call the proper human diet. You know, i.e., anything other than all sugar, alcohol, sugars, manufactured fats. I mean, if you were going to say that the proper human diet involved, if we're talking about macronutrients, carbohydrates and proteins, okay, right? But those carbohydrates should possibly be packaged in the original form, like in fruit. We've got the good Dr. Palladino talking Saladino, yeah, talking about incorporating fruit and honey. Well, that's natural. And if you're a guy like him who's working out like crazy surfing, well, that might work out well. All right. For those of us who are metabolically compromised, then maybe not. Look at Kerry. Kerry from Homestead How has got to his goal weight. He's lost all the weight. And he said, I got to eat a lot more now than I used to, calorically speaking, right? So as we understand the spectrum changes based on where we are, where we come from, how we want to approach things. Like Russ, you're approaching things from a ketogenic slash instinctive dietary process. Other people may be more strict, but I don't think we have a body of literature that says how a broken body on 40 years of bad nutrition, well, I say bad euphemistically, but a poor nutrition, how it's going to respond. Because I'm hearing people talk about eyesight improving, not perfect, mind you, but improving, knees improving, hips improving, backs improving, mobility improving, mental clarity improving. So it's like a country western song played backwards. So there we are. How you doing, Russ?
Good. I just woke up. Did you say something? No, I'm just
No.
kidding. I'm kidding. Let me sum up what this gentleman just said, everybody. If you eat the meat and move your feet, it'll make your health system complete. How about that?
All right. Hey, Renee, no. Avocados aren't supposed to be bitter, but they can be a little bit bland. So if you add a little salt, that can really bring out the flavor. Hello, Keto Cheeto. Welcome to,
Hey,
um,
running.
yeah, welcome.
Welcome to Carnivore Scott's channel. Yeah, your body heals. Your body has amazing ability to heal itself, and if you give it what it needs, it'll heal itself. So to what you were just basically saying in terms of changes and things, we only tend to know what's wrong with ourselves externally or what we can feel, but there can be a lot going on inside your body that you can't feel and that you don't know. And that's when getting into ketogenic living and your body healing is where all of a sudden you're like, well, I can see better, or oh, this doesn't hurt, or that doesn't hurt. It's all part of healing, and it's just about giving your body what it needs so you can heal, and that's a little different for everybody. I mean, we all know people who smoke a pack a day and live to be 100 years old, and other people die of lung cancer at 35.
Yeah.
So it's all about you understanding how you feel. Get your blood work done, live your life, see how you feel day to day. You know when you're feeling down, you know when you're feeling good and strong, and just adjusting what you need to adjust to do that. And as I was saying to our girl Carrie tonight on the show, ketogenic living is about total health and wellness, even though it gets pigeonholed and categorized as a weight loss program. I do my very best to tell people and let people know it is not just a weight loss program. It is about total health and wellness. So you don't have to be overweight to see health improvement and to want to be ketogenic. And that's an important message that I think we need to get out to the world.
I couldn't agree with you more, and I think that again, each person is on their own journey, and what works for you is important for you to find out, and it can be different for so many. And the rest of us, in my personal belief, we just need to celebrate that you found what works for you,
Absolutely.
and that's really where we are. If it's keto, great. If it's keto-ish, great. If it's carnivore-ish, great, or ketovore. I mean, look, I have read where people have said. Let me go back to this one. I have read where if you are on a high fruit diet, but you're not including fats, and you're getting those essential amino acids, you may well thrive. Hey, great for you. I
Yeah.
celebrate you, but if it doesn't work for me, don't bring it to me. Right?
Not only that, but it's your activity level, your metabolism. Because again, Dr. Berry teaches us that you can, up to 100 carbs a day, depending on your age and your lifestyle. I mean, there
Right.
are people who can take in 50 or 75 carbs a day, and they're so active and their metabolism are working so well, they're metabolically healthy that they can burn that up and they can metabolize that in a day. But if you're an older person who's not metabolically healthy, not very active, you can't, there's not enough exercise you can do to burn off 50 carbohydrates worth of glucose or whatever. You just can't do it. Therefore, you're going to have problems. So here's a guy eating 50 carbs a day and losing weight, but here's a guy eating 50 carbs a day and gaining weight because this guy is metabolically healthy. He plays tennis and rides a bike and swims and all this stuff. So it's why you have to look at yourself, look at your life, look at your age, your activity level, your metabolic health, and
That's right.
find the carb number that works for you. Or if you're a person there are people like Dr. Baker and Dr. Chafee who are all of those things and their carb number is still zero.
Right.
But there's a lot of folks in between there. God bless all of them. Find your sweet spot. Find your carb number that you feel good at, and that you can sustain comfortably, and get yourself healthy.
Well, I think that piggyback's really good here on Renee's comment. She's growing her own pineapples, right? Look, if you've grown your own pineapple and you're in a healthy space, cut that pineapple up. Do what you want to with that pineapple. Keep as much of the original form of it and enjoy it. We are not supposed to be in this journey in suffering 24/7. What we're supposed to do is be able, in my opinion, mind you, what we're supposed to do is at this moment I'm in this part of my journey, and I know that when I say yes to this, I'm saying no to that. I know my consequence, I know my situation. Like tonight, I was at the steak feed and they had dessert bar with ice cream and they had all this stuff. You know what I said? No to everything. Because I just, like you say, Russ, sometimes you just say, no, I don't want it. So I really believe that as we journey through this dietary and lifestyle change, it's imperative that we understand what is going to move us closer to our goal and what is moving us away, and that we reevaluate on a regular basis. Because I know this sounds strange, but there are people out there like Sean at Intentional Carnivore and others who say bacon isn't the end all to be all today, right? We're going to change. Be adaptive and appreciative of the changes, and celebrate. Like I say, celebrate your non-scale victories. Celebrate what works for you. Celebrate your achievements, and then learn from those things that are less brilliant spots in your life. We'll fall down, but that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. I mean, we learn a lot from our negative feedback loops. So I think it's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it. Laura, hey Laura, how you doing, sweetie? She made a comment in there that I, totally agree with it. Dr. Chafee says, and he's right. Having the knowledge is so important. Um, when you're in this life, you know what these foods are doing to you. You know how they make you feel, and you have control over your knob. You can turn your knob up or turn your knob down depending on where you're at in your life, like I said, your activity level, your lifestyle, all these type of things. And that knowledge is where the real power is. Because if you're not feeling great, or maybe you're putting on some weight, or just whatever the name of the game is for you, you know how to turn that knob down. You know how to get get your carb number low and get back where you need to go and get on track. And then you stop doing that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, because we're in a day-to-day engagement. We're in a moment by moment engagement, and I think maybe what happened to some of us along the way is we got wrapped up in this all or nothing mindset, and we said, "Well, I fell off the proverbial wagon, so I'm all in now, and I forget everything else." And the truth is, yeah, you fell. And it's, what is that old saying? It's not how many times you fall, it's how many times you pick yourself up.
sure, you only have to get up one more time than you fall.
And then the idea is knowing your why. And your why can change along the way.
Yeah. No, there's no doubt about it. And yeah, Susan makes a good, that's right, Susan. I agree with you 100%. 20, 30 carbs, many people can stay in ketosis. And oh, Ollie's here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can bring Ollie on here. We make this a
Hey, Ali. Here, Ali. I'm gonna just post the link here because I'm that type of guy where I just put whatever I want. And if somebody does something silly, I'll just tell them no. Stand by.
But bottom line is, yeah, find your number and you know and be consistent. That's the thing. I mean, progress is more important than perfection. And
But
make your progress. And if my number used to be over 300, and now it's 15, consistently 15 or less. And like I said, that's where I'm at now. That could change. I don't know. We'll see. Oh Lord.
ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the one, the only South American in this chat.
I'm not South American.
Well, living there, right? Living closer there than I do.
They can have her. They can have her. They can have her.
No, we want to hear. We want to hear. Look, the bottom line is, and I agree with what you were saying there, Russ, is that what works for you is what you need to find out. We're all on that journey, and we can't beat ourselves up too much. And I don't know about you, but like this week, I have been sitting right at the edge of 282 pounds, 282. Nothing's working. You know what I did the other night? I had a homemade chocolate cookie with chocolate chips in it, whatever the wife made. And I ate one of those, and I enjoyed it. And then I made my own Philly cheesesteak. I took a sirloin roast that had been in the crock pot, let it stay cold, chopped it up, put the fat in with it, put some Swiss cheese over it and some grilled onions in there. Ate that thing up like a beggar on a bologna sandwich. Down 3 pounds this morning. Loving it.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I mean, I don't know. I'm going to weigh myself here in a few days. I was 508 before Carbogeddon, and we'll see what the scale says on the 15th. And I'm not worried about it. I'm going to predict. Okay, I'm going to make a prediction. I was 5'11", and then on August the 15th, and then I dropped to 508 on September 2nd.
All right.
And I had Carbogeddon, but that ended last Wednesday. So from last Wednesday, which would have been what, the 6th? From the 6th until now, I've been 100% clean, 100% good, and I'm going to be good until the 15th. And I'm going to predict that I go right back to 508. I'm going to predict through all the Carbogeddon that I didn't lose any weight or gain any weight. I'm going to be 508 on the 15th. That's my guess. We'll see. I have no idea, but that's what I think it was going to be. And then, but that's the good part. The bad part is on the 15th I leave to go on vacation, so I'll be up in Ohio for a week, and I don't know. It could be the Carbogeddon revisited. I just I can't tell you what it'll be.
Well, whatever it is, you're gonna do you. We're gonna love you, and we're gonna be right here, and we're gonna be part of the whole solution.
Of course, what's not to love?
Yeah, well, we'll leave that alone. Now, I want to give Ali some time because you said that you might be leaving soon. So address, impress, and enjoy.
Let's talk about the show. What did you like about the show? Both you and Brett. What's going on, Brett?
I've been Googling this codfish thing, and I'm getting scary results. You don't even want to see the web searches, that stuff that's come up.
The best part of the keto after show is talking about the keto pre-show, and that was Dave Mack. He came. Yes, he was as advertised today. That was, man, I lost it, man. I laughed so hard I thought I was gonna pee myself, man.
Really funny.
That was epic. I thought all the guests were great. I loved Becky. It was great to finally meet her. She likes and comments a lot on all of our channels and is in the chats, and what a sweetheart. Just a sweetheart. We're gonna take a GoFundMe so she doesn't have to live in her car. We're gonna get her out. We're gonna get her out of her car. You hang in there, you be strong, Becky. We're gonna get you out of that car, baby. But but what a sweetheart. I thought she had a great story, great energy. And then same with Christy. I love that somebody's coming into the space from a different place, talking about mental health and that. That is so underrepresented. And then, of course, Dave Mack, eating fish sperm. Who can beat that?
Who wants to?
Yeah, that's unbeatable.
The Japanese, I guess.
Yeah.
No. Bad enough they use whale barf for perfume.
Ew. Ew.
So what was your favorite part of the show tonight, Brett? What did you particularly enjoy?
Well, I liked the teacher that was on. I hadn't seen her channel before, so looking forward to checking her out. And then having Dave Mack on, he's always fun to listen to.
Yeah, I love Dave. Just a great guy. What about you, Scott?
I think the best part of the whole show is just watching them pull questions out of the mitt. I mean, I've seen a lot of out of the hat thing, but I've never seen something out of it. And those questions that came on strips of paper, I'm like, what are we having, a ticker tape parade? I mean, that thing was huge.
Yes, we have a big production budget, so that's
$0.
Yeah, I was gonna say paper prices, no object. We can use all the paper we want. We have a limited budget. Well, that was a new segment that we started there, the mystery question. So you think that's a winner? You guys like that?
I think it was pretty. It's better than just going around the horns and what do you want to talk about? Well, what do you want to talk about? It gave a
Yeah.
direction.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I love
Exactly.
that. I love
I
that.
want to do. I went to an event one time, and they had the wheel of meat. Have you ever heard of the wheel of meat? And it was at a Catholic church, and they was like, "Here, just take a number." So I spun it, and I walked out with 2 boxes of feather bones, right? And for feather bone ribs. And it's like you spun the wheel for like you gave a buck or two, and you'd either win a hamburger or some steak or ribs. And I won 2 boxes of feather bones. I was like, I ain't Catholic, but I'll be back. And it was pretty good. So I thought I should do a wheel of meat here and just say, hey, pick a topic, like put a wheel up and put a topic on it.
That's a great
And then
idea.
spin the wheel. We can say NSVs or whatever we wanted to put on there. But I really like the glove. That came out of nowhere. That was awesome.
Yeah. Well, when you see the wheel of meat on the cookout next week, don't be mad. No.
Hey, just give credit where it needs to go.
Hey, unlike some folks out here, I don't need to steal anybody's ideas. I don't need to do that.
and you can advertise on my channel.
Yeah, it's not a problem. Yeah, exactly. Hey, I'm like, come on, man, give me a chance. I'm trying to plug the man before I can even get it out. It's like, hey, I'm having an after party. I'm like, give me a chance, brother. I got you. I will not.
I was excited. Guilty as charged.
I'm teasing.
When I went to the Indy 500 this year.
Go ahead, Fred. I'm sorry.
Somebody had a wheel of meat. There was a beef producer. They sell like Omaha steaks with the mail order meat stuff, and they had a thing where you could spin the wheel and win, delivered meats and things.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool.
Yeah, now I lived in the shadow of Omaha for 15 years, and so Omaha Steaks and then when I was in office there, we got a lot of Omaha Steaks. I'm just leave that right there. You know what I mean? I kind of miss that much free beef, but hey.
Yeah. Somebody sent me some Omaha Steaks for my birthday. I've had them before. They're pretty good. Can't complain.
Yeah.
I personally think they're meh.
Yeah,
I can get some good beef in a lot of places.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not a snob, but hey, man, somebody sends you meat in the mail. What are you gonna complain about?
Right. Only in this day and age,
Hey, listen. Hey, last time I sent somebody my meat in the mail, I ended up in a legal situation. I'm just saying.
This is not the barbecue show where you can bring up any topic. This is a more family rated show, okay?
At 10 o'clock at night.
It's 11 o'clock at night there.
Oh, okay.
It's the West Coast families. There's West Coast.
Oh, yeah, it's true. It's like 7 o'clock there.
That's right.
Yeah. We all have so you can kind of see. I one of the thematic points I like to have in this endeavor, and let me bring in Karen's Carnivore here too. One of the thematic things I like to bring in. I like to bring this show is
got a party going on now.
Yeah, it's a
It is
party.
the after party.
And one thing I like to bring in, I want to make sure we always focus on our non-scale victories, but because like I'm wearing this shirt because I can. That's why I'm wearing it, and I just think that if we can each celebrate these little things each day. Like I bent down today, we got a swimming pool out back, but it's getting kind of late in the year, so we put bubble wrap on it to keep it warm. I actually bent all the way over and reached down into the water to pick up the cover without grunting, groaning, grabbing a stick or a broom to help bring it to me. And then I said to my wife, I said, "Did you see that?" And she said, "What?" I picked it up. I picked it up from below my feet. And she's like, "Oh, good for you."
Yeah, you want to hear that?
That's awesome.
I love that, man. That's great.
Hello, Michael Johnson. I don't know about the cool people, but we're all here.
He's speaking for himself. I'm cool as the other side of the pillow. Thank you very much.
Oh, okay.
And Brett is too.
Yeah.
Now,
Brett must be freezing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in a meat locker there. You know, I'm tell you what. And I don't know about those beefs, man. They don't look right, man. They took all the fat off those beef. I don't want all that.
It looks like prime meat to me. It looks good.
There's not enough fat on that meat, man. I'll tell you what, that's been photoshopped. I want the fat. I go to a local butcher here not too far, and he's a state certified butcher, not a USDA one, so he can do some other thing. And I see a whole beef hanging up there, you know, and that's got some fat on it. You know, I'm thinking to myself, num 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 num, give me the fat. You know, I'm loving it.
Yeah, I've been using beef tallow a lot more to cook, and I'm really liking it. I like it a lot more than I thought I would. I'd never used it until about a month ago, and now I'm saving all my hamburger grease, and every time I get some, I save every little bit of it. So good.
Hey, Carnivore Trucker, good to see you in here. Welcome.
So,
Yeah, how many of you are saving your bacon grease? Anybody saving bacon grease?
Oh yeah,
I do.
Here and there.
Well, I tell you what, I'm making up another one of my Philly cheesesteaks today. I got a video of it. Boy, did I make a big mistake too. But what I did is I added about a tablespoon of bacon grease to my pan when I put the chopped beef in there. That was well worth the mistake I made. What I did is normally I get the butter and I smack a tablespoon of butter in the pan. I just had kind of forgotten I put a tablespoon or two of olive oil in there, and it was very hot. When I smacked that butter, it went everywhere.
Oh.
Next thing I know, I've got my shirt out on the counter putting Dawn dish detergent on about 35 different little spots, but I don't think it's going to save it. I don't think it's going to work.
So we just got a super chat on my PayPal.
All right.
From
Congratulations.
Carnivore today, $25. It says for the fam. Thanks so much, Adam.
All right.
He probably stole the money. He's a thief.
Hey, Keto Cheetah, if you're heading off to the rack, thanks for dropping by. I don't want to keep anybody up past the bedtime.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you checking out the cookout, brother and or sister. I don't know if it's I don't know who it is, but that's wonderful. Appreciate you.
I gotta go to sleep. I'm really tired. Guys,
yeah.
I'm a little tired. But I just wanted to say hi. Thanks for letting me on the after party. My favorite thing is just hanging out in the chat anyways.
Hey, look, you all are welcome anytime. You guys have been so gracious to take my incessant comments and my constant battering in the comment section. So you guys are always welcome anytime.
Thank you. We love the comments, so keep commenting.
Oh yeah.
Well, all right. Well, if you're taking off and just gonna hang out, you take care. All right.
I gotta get some sleep. I wake up early.
No,
all right, bye everybody.
Appreciate
Thank you.
Good night. God bless.
Talk to you soon.
Michael saying to say before, I get it. But I tell you what, I really do like some bacon grease and things, and cast iron has some. All right, there you go.
Yeah.
Now I was watching somebody who was cooking, and I don't think they clean. It was who is the guy? He's a farmer. He's a rancher, and he's lost a bunch of weight. Oh, what is his name? He was all over the carnivore channels about 2 weeks ago, and he just cooks his ribeye or whatever steak, and he just wipes his pan out, puts a lid on, and cooks in the same grease every day.
Oh, my grandmother used to do that.
You can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, my grandmother used to do that. Yeah, I don't really cook that much, and I don't really have a need to keep grease. But what I do is I fry my bacon first, and then I scramble my eggs in it that way. So I don't make.
It's a good way.
Yeah, I don't make eggs or bacon separately. I always make them together. Sometimes it gets a little heavy, and I drain off a little bit. Sometimes it's depending on the bacon and what type it is and style, it's like a bacon ocean in there, so it gets a little soppy. But I try to figure out, let's see, how many strips of bacon and how many eggs is perfect for that grease, and I kind of have a little system going, and then I don't end up with a lot of grease left over. because I don't really, make much else that I need grease for. So
I save mine in a mason jar.
yeah, yeah.
Well, each of us have our way we go about things. Now, I'll tell you what, one thing that really hit me the other day is I was watching the video with Bill Knott, right?
Mhm.
And, to know that he is so excited that he can now cook on some other area other than his stomach.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, we just don't appreciate sometimes the mobility we have and the abilities we have.
Yeah, who doesn't?
From a safety standpoint, I'm really glad that he can cook on that desk now instead of on his bed.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
Wouldn't you hate to hear, a fire or something that started because somebody was cooking steaks in bed? I mean, that'd be awful.
Yeah. Listen, I certainly appreciate my mobility. I mean, like I said, a few months ago, I couldn't stand long enough to shave. So I get it.
Fat
Like
people become quite good at using their bellies for a table.
Yeah.
And I don't deny that because
We learn
I
how.
remember there was a time when I used to like to have my belly to put my arms on when I was doing things and meetings, and I kind of lost it. Then I found it. It's kind of like the hokey pokey, put one foot in, one foot out, right? But now I'm learning that there are other ways I can achieve the same thing. But again, it is amazing when you regain a freedom that you hadn't realized you lost until it was gone. Like me being able to bend down lower than my feet and pick something up without a whole bunch of grunting and all the theatrics. And last week I was able to do a little quick foot maneuver that I wouldn't have been able to do a couple of months ago, because for me it's not only weight, but I have chronic pain. That chronic pain has made me afraid to do things. Like I won't even try to jump rope now for the fear that my ankles would break or something would. So it's so difficult to pull yourself out of a mindset until the moment comes when you're out of it, and then you're successful. But 3 weeks ago, I decided, or about 3 weeks now, I decided to run out of no reason. I ran from my car to the church I was visiting to get my phone, and my hammies were not right for 3 days after that. So then it brings me back to the fear mode.
Yeah,
So-
no, you have to definitely. I mean, depending on what level of shape you're in, you've got to take it easy. I mean, you got to work your way back into it, because I don't know about you guys, but in my mind, I'm 21 and still that dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
but my knees and my back and the rest of it's like, no, you're 54 and you ain't that dude. So I mean, once you get to feel it, at least for me, once I got to feeling better and got more mobility and stuff like that, I overexerted myself. I just did, and I ended up, hurting myself a little bit. And I've still got a couple of things I'm working through. But as I'm sure it's just overexertion. As I lose, more weight and get more active, I'm sure that stuff will go away. But yeah, you have to be careful. Because the last thing I need is to be laid up somewhere with a torn something or a pulled something, out trying to be Carl Lewis.
I slipped down my wet deck last summer and fell and broke my shoulder.
Oh.
And I'm very nervous now about wet.
Yeah.
Understandable.
Yeah. In the spirit of sharing, I fell the other day too. Right, I tripped over something in my bedroom office here. Fortunately, it's carpeted and it wasn't much of a fall, but I didn't see it, but I'm sure it was hilarious. And and yeah, I really wish I could have seen it, because I know it was hilarious. But there was something, I caught my foot on the edge of the desk there, and I just started to fall a little bit. And once that momentum starts going forward, brother, it's cancer Christmas. So I yeah, so I took a little tumble, and and I laughed about it. And fortunately, like I said, I got back up. The last time I took a fall, I ended up tearing my knee up pretty bad and being laid up for about 3 months. So, yeah, I don't need that in my
I
life.
think a lot of what happens is your weight redistributes as you get older. And even though you may weigh about the same as you did 20 years ago, it's in different places now. And if you move quickly like you did then, that momentum from where that weight is now and wasn't there before carries you, like what Russ just said. The momentum is a killer.
Yeah, it's like once you get going and going downhill, brother, you're not. Yeah, just let it go. Just don't even try to fight. Just fall on. Just fall on down, man. Don't even.
Yeah, you're right. A lot of people do hurt themselves because, like, they'll put their wrist out and then they snap a
Yeah,
wrist.
yeah,
Instead,
Yep.
I mean, look at children the way they fall. They just go all in and they come
yeah.
back up. But we're not children anymore.
Yeah, it's not the fall. It's the trying not to fall part that's the funniest and also probably the most dangerous.
Yeah,
So,
there's just no escaping it. But these are important topics to talk about because, like, my wife was helping this lady. She's currently going through leukemia, and she took her she was at her house and taking care of her, and she was getting to the stool, and she fell, and in falling she snapped her tibia, right at the
Damn.
ankle. Well, that is no bueno when you're undergoing all these treatment. And this has been 3 months and she's still affected. Now, it was no one's fault. It was just a situation. They didn't have a belt on her for fall risk. We went and bought one that day. But the thing is, it doesn't take much in the right situation to really create an enduring injury.
Mhm.
And people who are in shape don't understand the absolute freedom they have from the fears that those of us who either because of our weight or because of our infirmary, I mean, I am terrified. If I do something to this side of my neck because they took the muscles out of everything, I can be gone like this from a ripped what do you call it, carotid artery, right? I don't have any muscles protecting it. So those fears are very, very real. But what's great is I think with time I can maybe build up some more muscle here, give myself a little bit of relief from the fear, because that's what really gets us. I think it's fear.
yeah. Oh Lord. Hey, listen.
Wolverine in the house.
Hey. Listen, I'm not gonna. I was gonna say solo me up there, Scott, so you could get a bigger version of it. But it's not my channel. If you'd have said it on my channel, you'd have got a screen full of it there. But listen, here's the thing about that pass interference flag, brother. I just want you to. It was a little bit late, but that's because when the referee reached in his pocket, he pulled out his Brutus Buckeye doll first, and he had to put that back in his pocket and then pull out the flag. In the wrong pocket. He reached into the wrong pocket. So, all I can say is we were 18-point underdogs, as I recall. So I can't remember. So you shouldn't even been that close. But thank you, brother. I appreciate it. I'm not a carnivore. I'm at best a carnivore sympathizer or a dirty carnivore. But some of my best friends are carnivores.
Hey. Well, that whole football thing, I got to be honest with you. I love football. I love a lot about it, but I had to be honest. I didn't watch any games this weekend because it's kind of like me going into a fudge shop. It just ain't going to work for me, right? And then I find myself getting so caught up in it that I ruin my emotional well-being. And so, if you don't like Chinese food, don't go in a Chinese restaurant. If you don't like being angry, don't go to things that make you angry. And you know what I ended up doing? I slept better. I had a much better day. And the way I look at it was watching 18 to 21-year-old young men run around on a field playing a game, given all that it is. Look, go make your bed 5 days in a row. serve your country, and I might just celebrate what you do. But because you're really good with an oblong ball, I'm not going to surrender my joy to you. My personal feelings.
So you just watch Army Navy games is basically what
I don't even watch those. I don't even watch those. It's just the way I'm built now because I that's all I got. That's all I got. Anyway,
Yeah.
so catching up with some of the comments. Go ahead.
There was when I asked about it. I was just gonna say, yeah, I watch the Bengals and the Buckeyes. Those are my teams. I don't watch too much other than that, but both of my teams this year are not. I don't think either one of them are going to be that great. But I saw Keto asked about if we had he said, "Where are you? Got a channel?" I don't know who he was talking to, but he's watching it on somebody's channel, so he's probably not talking to that person. But I don't know who he's referring to. If you're talking about me, yes, Homesick Buckeye is my channel. Check it out. If you
Yeah,
can.
and by the way, everybody and anybody who wants to promote their channel, feel free to throw it into the chat. You're not going to offend me. And
there's a setting. It's on my name tag, but there's a setting somewhere in your settings to let people broadcast their names. I think on their underneath their names.
I don't know how to do that, but I'll be glad to learn.
Yeah. It's a setting. Bottom left hand of the screens. There's a button somewhere in your settings. You can click it. I don't know where it's at either, and then people's names and channels can show up on their picture there. You'll figure it out. But I don't know which. I'm not a whiz on StreamYard either. I don't like the Cookout. Adam hosts that, so he's got all the settings on his stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I do have my channel up, Scott. Now I've got some videos there. I put the link in there. I had to get something there before the live stream, before Carrie shows the one that I sent him. So it's going now.
All right, good.
yeah, but it's at Homesick Buckeye, and I'm sure Scott will put it probably in the description after the stream is over. Or you can Google it or go to YouTube and search it, Homesick Buckeye.
And what I could do, I wonder if I can go here and take the banner off. There we go. There we go.
And then you have to go in, like Brett will have to go into his settings and change, to add a second line. But there you go. There's my channel, and Scott's got a AKA under his, but
you're in my channel most likely. But it's real simple. It's Carnivore Scott without the space. I really had to dig deep for that naming convention. With the meat racks, you're looking at Brett.
Who's your carnivore?
That's me. I just subbed to Karen. She's got 5 subs now.
Yeah, we'll sub. That's right. I'll hit you up later on there, Karen.
Let me see if I can bring up another window here just a second, and we'll do a little bit more of that. And then I can throw up that page here real quick. Yeah. Anyway, so what are you guys in the crowd? Go ahead, like Brett. Why don't you share a little bit with us? All right.
Well, I got my 6-month anniversary coming up on the 17th, so I'm probably gonna make a little video for that. And I was just doing some notes tonight on what I might want to talk about, and I might grill something, and talk about the things that I've improved in the last 6 months, victories, non-victories, non-scale victories, and then some kind of plan for the next 6 months. Things I want to change, things I want to implement, stuff like that.
All right, good.
I got some rib eyes the other day, and I found a couple chuck eye steaks, which I haven't been able to find. So I may do like a rib eye, chuck eye cook-off comparison. I don't know. We'll think of something.
Where do you shop up there? They have Costco's up that way?
Yeah. Costco, Kroger, Meijer.
Meijer. Now there's a blast from the past. Yeah, I don't think there's any Meijer south of Kentucky.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, they don't have them down
I think
here.
they're owned by Kroger, aren't they?
Meyer, no. Meyer's different.
No.
Yeah, I think they've been trying to get bought out a few times. The Fred Meyer family, I think they still own it.
I think so.
Yeah, I remember when they first came out because I lived in rural Ohio, and in Marion, Ohio, they had a Myers, and this was in the 80s. And man, was it the rave. It was basically like the Super Walmart, you know,
Yeah.
before Walmart. And man, people love that place. And that place was always packed. That was
Yeah.
30 years ago.
I like Meyer. It's always a nice, clean store, and people are,
Yeah.
they keep the place maintained and nice
Yeah.
clientele, and it's a good place to shop.
Well, I know that Myers is out in Nebraska. So, again, what you have to do is you just I had a gentleman who was a teacher of mine when I was getting my last degree, and he worked in the grocery business, and he said it's a brutal business. The margins are very, very limited, and what they'll end up doing is they'll sell off part of their stores in certain marketplaces that are less profitable. They'll maintain some in other ones, and it's a kind of like a morphing thing that changes back and forth, and that it's just hard to keep up with it because they will rebrand, they will sell out to Kroger's or whatever, but there's really not a lot of margin in the grocery business.
Karen's got 10 subs now.
There you go. Good for you, Karen.
Wow.
Yeah, that you can thank Walmart and those guys for that. They kind of ruined the grocery business for a lot of folks back, from back in the day with the margins and all that when they came out and started doing what they do.
Yeah, I just want everybody to get a chance to see Karen's page here, so you can kind of get an idea of what you're looking for when you see it. So, and when she does it, it's Karen's Carnivore Journey. And they had a dash QZ1UH.
That's
Can't really see it.
That's
What's that?
YouTube's ID. Everybody gets those weird IDs behind their name.
Yeah,
A lot of people do.
Yeah, not
Okay.
the channel ID. You want the channel. What's the other one? There's two choices, I think. Channel ID, and the other one is a.
I'm gonna Control C and put it right down here in the chat, and then we'll go ahead and go back to all the beautiful people here in the chat. Let's see, we'll go out here. We got that. I don't know what the best way to lay this out is. There we go. That's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there you go. Got us all in there. But yeah, I'm glad everybody's going ahead and taking a chance to go ahead and meet each other and follow and sub and do that. Ground beef down 60 pounds in 101 days. That is sweet. That's great. Meyer to Walmart. I tell you what, I wanted to get a job at Walmart at one point in time because I was kind of in between jobs. I didn't really want to get a job, so I went to Walmart. And thank you, Christine. Appreciate you coming in here. Yeah, 4:30 does come quick.
Yep. See you, Christine. Thank you so much, sweetie, for everything. You always support all the subscribes and all that. We appreciate you.
And so I went to Walmart and I went to the kiosk. Hey, Woodster's here. Good to see you, buddy.
What up, Wood?
And I put in my application and I never got a call. So then later on down, maybe they're better judge of character than I thought, right? All right, Laura, you take care. You have a blessed night too. Thank you for coming by.
Have a good night, sweetheart.
Hi, Laura.
So later on, after I got elected, I got the guys from Walmart sitting in my office, hat in hand, right? Because they wanted to do some things. I needed some legislative help. And I said, look, I believe in what you're doing because they want to get more local grown produce in the stores. And there's some pretty important criteria they have to go through to do that. And I'm all about it, you know what I mean? But I said, why was it easier for me to get elected to high office than to get a job at Walmart, you know?
Yeah, funny.
I don't get it. I look at some people who are there. I go, I know they need the job, but it was mind-boggling. But that's okay. That's the way it works, you know.
Maybe the voters aren't as smart as the managers of Walmart.
Well, there's that too. Thank you very much for that vote.
And maybe they are.
Hey, I can never miss an opportunity to take a shot at you, brother. I hope you understand. It's all love.
Hey, I teed it up past your bedtime, Renee. I get it. All right, you take care, Renee.
You did. You put it on the tee for me. You did.
I'm used to that, and everybody needs a straight man. You know what I mean? Every comedian needs a straight fella. You know what I mean? And I'm there for you. But it was an interesting question at different times. Like I had the same people from the university, and they wanted to make a nursing school, and I always laughed about, or not laughed, I cried. Is that we have this great big pool of applicants who are super qualified to go to nursing school, right? And we have this big super need for nurses. Itty bitty pipeline between the two. I was like, why is it we got a lot of capable people, got a big need. Why can't we get more people over that bridge? Mm-hmm. And so it was a long conversation, but the important part of it was, I signed off to give them $60 million to build a nursing school. But I wanted to go to nursing. A lot of guys in the military, when they get out, because we're given a lot of skills, they want to go into nursing because we care, and the service is big, and we don't want to find another job. And I'd be gosh darned if I couldn't figure out why the heck is it so hard to get accepted to nursing school when we have such a critical need for them.
Because you're a man.
Well, no, even for women. I mean, it just the criterion and the way they winnow out the people who get to go to nursing school. It's a fraction of what we need.
Yeah.
It's the same reason we get told sugar's good to eat.
Yeah, it's tough, rigorous, and expensive. So you put all that together, it's going to be.
God bless anybody that goes into nursing, because it takes a special kind of person, and I know that ain't me. So every time I meet a nurse or an EMT or somebody like that, I always thank them for what they do, because I can't do it.
Yeah, half my family's nurses. Both my brothers, sisters. Yeah, my brothers are nurses in the VA health system, both of them.
Yeah.
Wow, they got their work cut out, because I know I go there all the time, and you see people like a guy like me. I'm an old, worn out lifer. You know what I mean? I did all the 20 years and blah blah blah. But what breaks my heart is when I go into the VA and I see a person in there, they're 25 years old, and they're missing a leg, an eye, and other things are broken in them. And I go, and they've got this whole life to live. My father's retired military, my brother's retired military, I'm retired military. I don't know anything more than retirees and lifers in my family, so to speak. And then I see these young people, and it just breaks my heart. Yesterday we celebrated 22 years from 9/11, right? Yeah. I barely made it through the day because while I'm infirmed from my service, I got too many friends who didn't come back, or they came back and they ain't back, if you know what I mean. Yeah. And so I feel for the medical people who are out there taking care of them, because you got to love on a person, a guy or a gal who surrendered so much, and they've got all their lives to live ahead of them. It's tough.
Yeah, I understand. Well, brother, I'm going to check out, man. I just wanted to come over here and show you some love.
Appreciate you.
No problem. I appreciate you, brother. You're a good friend, good fan of the show, fan of the channel, and appreciate the keto cookout after party. And like I said, I will pop in and join you again. And what's that, Rhett?
Always good to see you. Always good to talk to you.
You too, brother. And I appreciate your support, and yours too, Karen. And all the best to all of you. And I will see you soon. I'll be on the live stream with Carrie and those guys for a little while. I think 8 o'clock, they got me in for 8 o'clock p.m. on Saturday. And I will be on Thursday at 7. I don't know if any of you guys are members of Dr. Barry's channel or Dr. Barry's site, but I'll be live there Thursday, I think at 7 p.m. with Teresa O. So, you guys you can catch me there. And other than that, I'm in the air and everywhere, just trying to keep up with this keto evangelism, baby. As the Reverend would say, keto saves, keto saves.
All right, my friend.
Amen. So, I'll see you guys.
Take care. Thank you, buddy. So Matthew asked a good question. Matthew said, "What did everybody have today?" And I want to say hello to Limitless Lindy. Welcome, welcome, welcome from the land down under. And I watched your video today on your dental and periodontal journey, and that was wonderful and very brave of you to bring that topic up. I think that there are so many aspects of the carnivore way of life that when we start getting healthy, we start seeing the other subsystems in our body, whether it's our eyes, our joints, but we very rarely hear about the dental and periodontal things. And good on you, your bravery and your candid nature of bringing this topic forward is absolutely perfect, because just today I heard of a young person who had to have all their teeth pulled because they're getting ready to go to heart surgery, and they had a lot of problems with their dental health. And dental health really wrecks your heart. And a lot of people don't realize how important gum health is to heart health. And so good on you. Good for bringing it on. And by the way, Matthew, I had a little bit of everything today. I ate some chicken, I ate some beef, I ate some cheese, I had a bunch of butter and MCT oil. By the way, I use a lot of MCT oil. So I just want to cover both those, and I'll give my co-host opportunity to talk about it too.
I had about a pound of hamburger patties for lunch, and then for dinner tonight we kind of did a little freezer clean out of some of the fish and whitefish and cod and salmon, and just had fixed like 3 different kinds of fish. So I'm still doing the sea lion diet challenge for September. So yeah, it was hamburger and then fish for dinner. I had to put on, I haven't been trying not to eat as much butter because butter isn't technically sea lion, but I wasn't getting hardly any fat with that fish tonight. So I went ahead and added a bunch of butter to it.
Cool.
I did an 8-ounce sirloin in my air fryer, and I filled the frying pan with some butter and sauteed some shrimp in garlic.
Yeah.
I did have shrimp today. The wife put some chicken tenders in the pan, and I got to be honest with you, I'm not a chicken hater, but chicken breasts and chicken tenders just aren't doing it for me, because I just want to put them in a blender with some fat, you know what I mean? Because they're so dry. But she cooked them in a bunch of butter, and then she put shrimp in there. And I was like, all right, I can do this. I can do this. So I went sea lion for part of the day today too.
Did she bread the chicken tenders?
Oh, no.
She didn't put like pork panko on it or something, like ground up pork rinds or something?
No, we just put the chicken. It's the chicken. Well, it's the chicken tender. It's the loin. You know, the little loin part of the breast. And she put some pan. We used to just cut them up and make them into chicken salads and the chicken this and the chicken that. Put them in with like maybe noodles or with rice. Like she had it with a little bit of rice. But she knows that that's an ixnay on the ricey A for a Scotty Waddy. So, but she cooked the meat up, and then she threw the scrimps in there. And I made myself my, I don't know if you do this, Brett. Brett, do you ever make yourself some, or anybody else, do you ever make yourself some Philly cheesesteaks?
Not in the traditional sense, no. But I do get the shaved beef, and I like to cook that up in the cast iron pan with some beef tallow and salt and butter, and just eat the shaved beef.
Well, I got to be honest with what I did. And so we inherited a meat slicer from my father-in-law. I highly coveted this meat slicer that was made in 1974.
Oh, it's
right?
a good one.
No, actually, it's like a Ronco one, right?
Oh.
But he took good care of it, right? And so I pulled out and I put this top loin in a crock pot, cooked it up. I pulled the top loin out, put it in the refrigerator overnight, and then I made it into thin pieces of sliced beef. So the first night I just did that thin beef in a garlic and butter sauce.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second night, I took it and I chopped it up real fine. And like I told people last night, don't tell the wife, but I chopped up a bunch of fat in it too. And I chopped it up in there and pan fried it, got it crispy over a bed of fried onions and then a couple slices of Swiss cheese. Oh, that was spot on. So
Wow.
today I decided for breakfast to do the same thing, but I didn't do the onions. I just did the beef with butter, salt, pepper, and the Swiss cheese. I was on that like a beggar on bologna sandwich because, you know, what I did, I took the thin slices and I made them into thin strips, and then I diced it like you might do onions or Spam, and I cooked that up. Oh, the only thing that make that better, I think the thing I'm going to do tomorrow is I'm going to pan fry the last bit of the beef, and then I'm going to fry a couple eggs and put a couple of
Scott,
over medium eggs.
I wasn't laughing at you, buddy. When you said Ronco, I had this vision of Ron Popeil and his Pocket Fisherman, the commercial. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
And that's what I was laughing at.
Oh, you weren't going to offend me anyway, but I appreciate that.
Some of
Yeah, I
these
appreciate
younger
that.
people probably don't remember him, but he's Ron. Anything made by Ronco is Ron Popeil. And he had this thing called a Pocket Fisherman, and it had a telescoping rod, and it telescoped down to a little thing you could put in your pocket. And it was like the beginning of infomercials.
Yeah. Yeah. He was like the first, you know, slap chop guy, you know, doing those commercials. And some of that stuff now, if you have it like still new in the original box, some of that stuff's pretty collectible.
Yeah.
Him and the Weeder gym, the little Weeder barbell gym deal. They were like the first real 30-minute infomercials.
Yeah.
Right. I used to remember and watching that stuff, and then when I was in the military in the 80s and I had to work shift work. I can't believe it, but weather guys got to do weather all around the clock. And we watch all those infomercials all night long. But you got to go, Woodster. Appreciate you dropping by, my friend. Hope I can catch you here a little longer one night, and maybe even bring you on when you're ready to come back. Come back and do a little more time. But I know you got family and a job and everything else. So thank you for coming and spending some time with us, my friend. But
that makes sense, Scott, since the weather never stops. So you do have to monitor it 24/7.
Oh yeah. We did, and but you know the funny thing about fishing. So I got deployed for when we had a little soiree over in Bosnia. Some of you may have read about that. Mm-hmm. So I got a chance to go and play in that, and I ended up in Hungary, and in dead of winter, and I can't tell you how cold it was, but it's like North Dakota cold, right? And they had we went there, and I was first in type thing, and there were two magazines. There was a Victoria's Secret catalog and a Field and Stream magazine. So being the man I am, I took and read that Field and Stream many times. And I got this hankering to go fishing. And I'd never gone fishing before. And when I went home and we were stationed in Germany, when I got back home, I took the wife to France. She thought she was going to France for a fun time. No, we went for fishing.
Wow.
But I'm no good at fishing. I bought everything. Well, what I'm getting to is I have a telescoping Ronco type fishing rod. Ooh. And I have a Mickey Mouse spinner. Not spinner, but a bait cast. Not bait cast, I guess a spinner, right? A closed face a rod.
Like a Zebco?
Yeah, like a Zebco, but right, yeah. And you know what? I use that to jig and do things under trees along banks and to slay the bluegills, you know? And I tell you what, I mean, I've spent the money getting rods and all this stuff, bought a boat, did the whole 9 yards. It's not my day. I don't like to fish. I like to catch. Now, Hoosier, I know you like to go out and you throw your arm out casting 1,700 times in a day.
Yeah, we're bass fishing. It's a constant workout. And that's kind of one of my non-scale victories over the last 6 months is I'm better able to handle a full day's worth of that. And not be completely drained at the end of the day from it.
Oh yeah, and not burnt, like you said. I think I remember you talking about not being so burnt because that water reflects up
Sunburn.
underneath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. In this last tournament, we had to walk to get, because I had to go pick up the truck and bring it down and pull the boat out. Well, I had to walk up this big hill to get back up to the parking lot. Didn't wear me out at all. Didn't phase me. And that was a nice little mini victory,
Hey, every victory adds up because at the end of the day, when you can enjoy your day, right? I mean,
Yeah.
many of us realize when we're in our worst condition and we're talking about falling and we're talking about like when I took the kids sometimes to the park, I wouldn't fit on a ride,
Yeah. Been there.
when your quality of life is impacted by your condition, even if your condition isn't obesity, I don't care what your condition is.
Yeah.
When your quality of life is impacted by it and you overcome it, that is a pardon the parlance, but that is a high that you will never get from any chemical, or anything like that. That's just such a rewarding thing. In again, my opinion.
And it was just me, walking up that hill, and I got up to the top of the hill, and I'm like, it was just like one of those quiet little victories inside, It's like,
Okay, so that you bring up a really good one there, Brett, and I'll ask everybody else here. Okay. We read and we hear about we really shouldn't be broadcasting if we're fasting, right? If you're going to fast, let's say for anything other than medicinal, say you're doing it for a spiritual reason, you're not supposed to be bragging about it, right? When we have some of these victories that you talked about, Brett, not everybody around us really cares about our victories. Have you noticed that people around you don't really care that your pants fit better, your shirt fit? Yeah. They don't want to hear about it, particularly if they're suffering from it.
Right.
Sometimes we really do injure the people around us by saying, "Hey, by the way, I met another goal today. That's nice. That's nice. I'm still suffering. Leave me alone."
Right. Well, like you said, well, your wife, when you bent down to pick up that thing and you stood back up, and she's like, wasn't a big deal to her, but it was to you.
But that should be incentive for those people to try to make themselves better.
That is very true.
So if they don't take it that way, that's on them, not on us.
We're just leading by example, and that's what
exactly.
You
Matthew, just to answer your question, I do believe Nisha, Dr. Barry's wife, made a mayo with bacon grease.
Bacon grease and butter, I think.
Yeah, if you ever want to make a mayo, because remember, mayo is just basically a fat that's whipped into an egg yolk.
An egg
right?
yolk, yeah.
So I'm sure you could clarify better, but I think the question is, how well do those two work together in emulsifying? I don't know.
Clarified butter is just all milk fat. So
right.
I would think it would work very well.
I don't know. Sometimes, it's a funny thing. If you've ever looked into the chemistry of fatty acids, and I love my fatty acids because I talk about C18 stearic acid a lot, but we've heard this conversation about cis people and trans people, right? All right. Now let's not talk about that, but let's look at the word cis and trans and what they mean in chemistry. Have you ever looked to see what they mean in chemistry?
No.
That's where they come from.
Oh.
So when you have a long chain fatty acid and you have the different double bonds, if it's on the same side, it's cis. If it's on the other side, it's trans because it's transposed. Anyway, and then long chain fatty acids that are liquid are cis fats, right? And they lay flat on each other. That's why they're liquid at room temperature. And that those that are trans tend to be solid.
Oh.
Anyway, and if you Google it up and you get into the fats, and Dr. Ben Bickman, he's the lipid guru in North America, maybe the world. But it's really cool. All right.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, it's silly stuff stuck in my head, and I don't know. I just stuff. Okay, Monkey Man.
I wanted to answer ground beef guy's question on if I'm working in a beef processing plant or not. But no, this is just a background, so you can't see my messy basement. I think I can change it.
Oh, I gotta go. Sorry about that, Monkey Man. I put in Karen's page. Stand by. I know. I'm not necessarily the sharpest tool in the shed, but I'm in the shed at least.
Could be worse.
There we are. That's how you get in. Oh, whoa. Holy mackerel. That's a background that gets your eyeballs.
Like a background of ribeyes.
Yeah. Now, wait a minute. Now, Lisa says, I want to clarify, but butter would dissolve from the heat of the meat you put it in, separate. I think it would, so I don't know what clarified butter would separate from.
It would just melt in a liquid.
Well, isn't clarified butter at room temperature almost liquid anyway?
Believe so.
Close.
I mean, really?
It's just ghee. You can buy ghee in the store in a jar.
Yeah.
But you can make your own ghee a lot cheaper.
Yes.
If you're patient.
Yeah. I don't know how good it would taste. But
Well, it would taste just as good. I mean, I've done it myself. I mean, I am not a clarified butter fan. I like it when I'm eating some seafood, right? But generally speaking, would I reach for that? Nah. I'll throw what I'll do if I'm not busy making a mess of my shirt. If you heard earlier, is I'll throw some. I used to throw a lot of olive oil, but now I have my own tallow that I render. Right, put some tallow in there, and then I'll throw the butter in as a finishing flavor, so to speak. I don't know if someone joined the show. I threw out the link. There's nobody new, but an individual by Monkey Man asked, "How do I join the after party?" And I threw the link out there. So that's how you do it.
You're here. This is the after party.
Right. So if I see you come into the green room or the waiting area, I'll throw a person in. That's it. So, all right, Barking Squirrel, welcome. I love that name because most people haven't heard a squirrel bark and realized it for what it is. Recipe for classic clarified butter, Jean Prelé. I love that guy. Excellent explanation of really enjoyable personality. I agree with you, Barking Squirrel. By the way, welcome to the house of Scotty P, a.k.a. Carnivore Scott, in the after party, or i.e. late night. A place where like-minded people can discuss things and topics that are near and dear for the day. And that's what this is. This is an opportunity. Karen's getting on here. Brett's getting on here. Limitless Lindy would be welcome on here if she wanted to get a camera. If she wanted to get a camera, and of course, Susan and Lisa and everybody else, you're welcome here, because this is not a channel that is beholden to so many people that we can't keep up. It's just an opportunity for us to hone our, I don't want to say hone our craft, but hone our craft. Yep.
I got to ask this for Barking Squirrel. I got to know, does he follow the Flying Squirrel channel with the guy that keeps trying to commit suicide and get an insurance claim? The squirrel. There's a flying squirrel and a broom falls on, and he picks it up and he puts it across his chest, and then he lays there dead. And his owner puts these videos up
That's
saying,
too hilarious.
you
I
know,
haven't
he's
seen it. I'm
trying
gonna
to
have to look
fake his
that up.
death. Yeah, it's Pan J, the flying squirrel. I don't know what the exact, but it's Pan J flying squirrel. If you put that in there, I'm sure it'll come up. But he's hilarious. And then there's another one. They've got a short, and he's got a like a croc shoe, and the croc shoe he puts it up on his chest, and then he lays there like that and waits. And then he kind of looks to see if anybody's looking, and then he'll readjust it and pull it up higher towards his neck, and then he throws his little arms out, and he's hilarious.
Well, once this commercial on this page changes, right here we go. Let's view
Squirrels
it. Here it
Elite.
is.
It's funny.
Whenever I'm in a crappy mood and I need a laugh, I go to this guy, and I could watch this video over and over and over because he's hilarious.
So it's Pan, as in PANJ, flying squirrel. 6.65 thousand subscribers.
Look at him. He's hilarious.
Yeah.
I need a
He does
stunt
other
squirrel
stuff
in my
with him
life.
too.
I need a stunt squirrel in my life.
I don't know how these people with these silly channels get so many subs. My son watches these videos where they throw phones off of bridges or off of balconies, and they break phones and hoverboards and these different things, and they make like a big production out of it. And the guy's got like 13 million subscribers. I'm like,
Why?
yeah. I'm like, how does that even happen?
You know, it's like people on Twitch that they play games and they have 19 million or 35 million people watch them play games.
Right.
But you know,
The guy's making
for every one of those, there are 45,000 of us.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Hey, Lisa, question for you. Lisa, do you ever want to come on? If you want to come on, you know, just throw a camera up. No judgment here. Would be happy to have you. Squirrels, crickets. That's what we have. We have crickets out here. Okay, speaking of crickets, so I wanted to ask you guys a tough question tonight. I'm not, and
No.
I probably won't articulate it correctly because I heard it somewhere else. All right. And on this channel, this gentleman asked this lady, a young lady, vivacious, active, everything you want to say about a good channel. And she was talking about how she had an alcohol problem, but not in your classic alcoholic situation, right? Probably she was a social/binge alcoholic, but when she decided not to do alcohol, she wasn't a person who went through withdrawals and everything like that. And she was also a carnivore who was enjoying some really great success in carnivore. And the host asked a question that said, if you could go back and you could only pick one thing to become aware of, right? Which would you choose? Aware of that alcohol was bad and quit, or aware of carnivore and follow the carnivore lifestyle? So I thought that was an interesting question. And I thought for us, knowing what we've already learned about the carnivore lifestyle, if you could compare that to another stronghold in your life, whatever that stronghold, which would it be that you would want to retain the knowledge of? You can only retain the knowledge of one. How you're overcoming a stronghold, or the value of carnivore way or ketovore way of eating in your life?
I think I would pick the carnivore keto thing. If I could have fixed that early in my life, I wouldn't have had the health problems that I've had now. So, but who knows how that would have changed my life and, you know, who I dated and who my kids would end up being and all that too. So sometimes be careful what you wish for.
How about you, Karen?
I'm not sure. Probably the carnivore. I don't know. My thing has always been something usually revolving around food. My divorce from potatoes, maybe. That was pretty hard.
Right?
And so I went carnivore, and well, I started officially on June 25th. And on August 31st, I went to a family dinner at Red Lobster. And I got, for one of my sides, I got fries, but I had to put them on a separate plate because everybody else there was going to share them. I didn't want to waste the side. I knew I couldn't eat it, so. And some of them were for the baby. And I ate three. That was the first potato I'd had since June 25th. And if you knew me at all, you'd understand how monumental that is. I couldn't eat without having a potato. I couldn't eat a sandwich without chips. If I didn't have the chips, I didn't want the sandwich. I couldn't eat a cheeseburger without the fries. If I didn't have the fries, I didn't want the cheeseburger. And the same thing with breakfast. I had to have that hash brown. If I didn't have the hash brown, the rest of it was no good. No bueno. And so that was pretty hard for me. And I made it all the way till from June 25th to August 31st without putting a potato in my mouth. And I'm not going to beat myself up over 3 French fries.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would consider that a major victory. If you can only eat 3 French fries and then stop yourself from eating all the other French fries on the entire table, because that would have been me.
And it was spread out. I ate one, and then maybe about 10 minutes later, I ate another one. And then a couple minutes after that, I ate another one. And then I just stopped because I knew where it was going to go, right where you said.
Yeah. That's like the equivalent of taking one bite of a cookie and then putting the cookie down and not eating the rest of it.
Right.
You know, eating one chip, you know, it's almost impossible. So
that's why I was telling somebody we got this 1 year old. Well, she's a year and a half now. And like they were giving her sweet tea and I'm like, you guys got to stop doing that. You're turning her into a sugar addict. And her mom said, well, I don't give her that much. And I'm like, yeah, but would you just give her a little bit of heroin? Would you just give her a little bit of cocaine? It's the same thing. It's an addictive thing. And you can't just do a little bit because it sends your same thing with alcohol or anything else that's addictive. Now, this is physical with your, what you ingest, but there's a lot, gambling or sex or drugs or alcohol, anything that's addictive. It's all in the same realm. It just manifests differently.
People just view sugar as this harmless thing, so they don't think anything of it, like they're not really causing harm or they're not really doing something they shouldn't,
If you feel like you're slighting your little kid, then give them a little bit of some berries or something. Berries or grapes aren't that bad. And for a little kid that burns a lot of calories, they're not going to be hurt by eating a little bit of fruit. You don't necessarily want it to be the citrus, but because they're really high. But most of your berries, grapes, they don't have that many carbs, and I think giving those to little kids are fine. If you give them the fruit, don't give them the juice. That's another thing they found is that if you eat the whole piece of fruit, that there's things in the whole piece of fruit that counteract all of that sweetness in the juice of the piece of fruit.
Yeah.
But you got to eat the skin and or rind or however it comes,
Right.
to be able to get the benefits.
I totally agree with you. And of course, I think the body of evidence is behind that. And that's how our grandparents and great grandparents would have done it. And I just want to break here real quick for D-High-S. Hey, look, appreciate you. I hope that your evening goes well and that you're blessed this evening. And I appreciate your candor and your ability to just be honest. And so thank you very much. Have a good one. Now, as far as Matthew was saying about Coca-Cola and triple coffee and ruining your teeth and overall health, I get it, brother. I get it that there are things out there that are designed for us to use them again. And when I was talking about a stronghold, whether it's food or alcohol, or like Karen would say, any one of a number of things that can become problematic for us in any given circumstance. In this show where I heard the question, the young lady said that most of her heart says she would give up the stronghold of alcohol. But the reality is, in giving and getting into the carnivore way of life, she was realizing that, alcohol is a type of sugar, right?
Yeah.
So it was a really tough question. And this question is meant to be one that thought-provoking for us to realize how deeply the whole carnivore journey, which is more than eating, impacts us. So like yesterday and the day before, I've been working on carving a wooden bowl. I like to do some woodworking on occasion. And I wanted to bring to the forefront of our discussions that carnivore lifestyle or keto lifestyle is only one aspect of the totality of our person. That we do many other things. This is not the only thing, because YouTube has an algorithm in a way that really pulls us into it. I'm talking to a guy who's on here, 6 days a week. And I didn't want to be so swallowed up by YouTube. So I actually forced myself to put it down and go out to my garage and start working on something else I love doing, right? So that I would not find myself disassociated from the other aspects of my life, not so overwhelmed, like all I can do is think YouTube, and forgot that I like woodworking and artwork and all these and music. So that's one of the things that kind of played in this whole question. So I'm looking for some input from our friends in the chat, like Matthew and Susan. And again, it looks like Brett had to step away for a minute. And so, Karen, what are your thoughts on the complexity of who we are outside of what we eat and our exercise?
Well, it is complex because for some of us, what we eat shows to the world. Those of us that are overweight and have those kind of issues, I mean, it's quite obvious to everyone what our issue is, but someone else that may be dealing with internal problems or mental health issues that you can't see on the outside, that's where it becomes more difficult, because people don't want to believe that there's anything wrong. It's like a lot of veterans that come back with PTSD. You can't see that. And people have a tendency to go, but you look fine. Well, yeah, maybe you do look fine, but that doesn't mean on the inside is fine. It's just that ours is obviously not fine if we're overweight or something like that.
Yeah, and that's absolutely spot on, and I love the way you couch that. But I'm also thinking that we as carnivores, right, and dieting or ketogenic people, while this is a very important aspect of our life, it's not the only aspect important. So for some, like I'm a grandparent, maybe grandchildren, right? Maybe a pet, maybe artwork, maybe reading. We have so many other things that are highly valued in our lives. And are we remembering what's for? Like, I know Brett likes to grill and smoke and do things like that. So it works hand in hand with his current dietary lifestyle. But I'm sure he has things he does with his children that are equally as important. And we have to remember how we navigate these aspects of our personality that are also important beyond what we eat and how we exercise.
I do genealogy.
Oh, very cool.
I was adopted as a newborn. It was prearranged before I was born. My parents never hid that fact from me. My mom told me everything they knew. By the time I was 18, I knew it all. I didn't have much desire to look. It was very difficult at that time. I was born in Pennsylvania, and they just, and up until a few years ago, had all of their adoption records sealed, and people even went to court with very valid medical reasons to need their medical birth history, and the state of Pennsylvania wouldn't give it up. But they've changed that now. But pre-internet days, it was the only way I was going to get anywhere was to go to Pennsylvania and hire someone to help me look. But then after the internet came, I just didn't really have much desire because I couldn't have picked better parents to end up with. They were great. My family, everybody was great. So I had a great life as a kid. But then after my parents passed away and internet was here, and I thought, oh, let me just look and see what happens. In about 36 hours, I found my birth mom. And
wow, that's fast.
Then a year later, with no help of her, I found my birth dad's family. It's been quite an interesting journey. I flew to Oregon to meet two sisters that I didn't know I have. I went from being an only child to January of 2017 having a birth mother and 5 siblings, and then the next January I found the other side and found my birth dad had passed away, but he had 5 children, so I ended up with, in a year, 10 siblings.
Wow.
That's a shocker to the system, huh?
Yeah, it was kind of, but knowing that I was adopted and knowing a little bit of the story, it wasn't a shocker in that aspect, but I was surprised it was so easy to find them. But part of the thing that helped was the ancestry. I was about 98% certain that I had the right person, but and I had already done my DNA through Ancestry, but I bought her one and let her do it, and it was a match. So I've ended up finding a lot of relatives, but that's one of the main things I do. But that's something I can sit here and do on my computer, and I didn't have to get up out of this chair to do it. But I had a win today. Because I'm not good at getting up out of this chair. It was always too hard. The knee, the weight, the hard to walk, the whole thing. But I just recently got a different car, and I actually got up and went outside, cleaned out my old car so I could sell it. And I feel like I got a lot of stuff done today compared to what I've been doing the last few years. And then I'm not going to talk about this a lot. I can't right now. I'm not in the mood. I don't want to go there. But I've been in a funk because 3 weeks before the pandemic came, my daughter was killed in a car accident. And then I had to face the pandemic alone. My 3 grandkids scattered all over. And it was hard.
Well, my heart goes out to you because if we've learned anything in the past years, not just the pandemic, but of our lives, we do not get over the loss of a loved one. We just learn how to live with it. And there's no words that anybody can say that soften the blow or make it hurt less. It's just a process that we go through one way or another. And my heart aches for you.
Yeah.
But I'm counting today as a win because for the first time in a long time, I felt like I was starting to come out of that funk and actually get up and do something besides sit here.
Well,
And that's one reason why I went to carnivore, because I didn't want to just sit here, waste the rest of my life. Yeah, I'm 66 years old, but if I'd change now and start doing stuff right, I could have quite a few good years.
Absolutely.
Still.
that is absolutely fact. And not only can you have good years, like you're saying, the quality of those years will only improve day by day. So good on you.
You could have
I
many
didn't
good
want
years.
one of my grandkids to come and find me dead in this chair.
You know, everybody has a different set of motivation, but I will tell you something, Karen. My brother-in-law passed away at the very beginning of the pandemic, and he was uncontrolled diabetes, probably close to 500 pounds, and when they took his body, and I was left with cleaning up, right, and he had been laying on some old cheeseburgers and bags of gummy worms, right? And he could, at this point in time, he could not. Now, see, I used to be very judgy because I didn't understand what I know now, right? He could not control his food addiction.
Yeah.
The man was brilliant. The man had all this, that, and other, but he could not, and he did not beat that food addiction. And he died in that bed with cheeseburgers and gummy worms and Skittles on the floor, right? And when faced with that and other deaths that happened over this period of time, both my in-laws and others, I'm right there with you. Remember the old days where they would put people in jail to scare them straight?
Yeah.
I was scared straight about my health. You know, I used to think I wanted to be in my home for my last few days, weeks, hours of my life. I designed this home I have here to do just that. And after having witnessed it and been literally holding my father-in-law as he slipped away, I would not put my children, my family through that. I will be in a professional services area, you know, because there are just some aspects of that we don't, our heart is in the right place, right, for our loved ones. But having witnessed it up front too many times now, no, they pay nurses and professional people to take care of that. I want my family to not be burdened by that. And so you're right, Karen, when you sit there and say, I don't want someone to find me passed away in this chair. That's my motivation. That is awesome.
That's a good why.
That's the best why I know.
That's a good why. You know, we all got to have our why. And, you know, that's something you could probably talk about on your channel. I haven't watched your video yet, but if you haven't talked about your reason, your why for doing it, that's a good one.
That's
I haven't
fact.
went quite that deep, but I do have one where I talked about Rachel. I got another one that's uploading now. That's another part. I did a slideshow, but I have an explanation. It's a kind of a fun video to look at, but it's just like me through the years, showing that I was normal little kid. I was normal in my teens, I have a couple pictures of me marching in the drum and bugle corps, and I look like everybody else. No, I wasn't skinny. I didn't look like Twiggy, but I looked normal. I looked like everybody else. And this has all happened since I've become an adult. So, and then I've got progressively through the years the different photos, and it's always fat. That's what the name of the video is, and it's just different levels of fat.
Yeah.
And I had got serious in 2018, and I lost a bunch of weight, and I got down close to where Rachel, that's my daughter, where her weight was, and we were kind of competing. And then her accident happened, and then it all went out the window because I hadn't been bringing any sugar in my house at all for a couple of years. I didn't eat much bread, and I ate very little pasta. I liked ramen noodles, but other than that, I didn't eat much pasta either. Potatoes, that was my thing, potatoes. But anyway, after she was killed, I used that for an excuse to comfort myself. And oh, well, it's Christmas, I'll just get some Christmas candy. Oh, it's Easter, I'll just get some Easter candy. Oh, it's Halloween, I'll just get some Halloween candy. And used it for an excuse to eat sugar that I shouldn't have been eating.
Yeah.
But finally, I stopped doing that again and started trying to turn things around, but it's just hard. And I've always controlled my weight with exercise, and I can't do that now like I did because of my knee. And so I felt like I was in a vicious circle. So I've just been trying to be really strict on the carnivore and losing the weight. And I've lost 49 pounds since March. The first half of that was on loose keto, and then I started serious carnivore on June 25th. And so about half of that was before the carnivore, and the other half is come since.
Well, you know, you've come to that juncture. You understand it. You're contending with the struggles, and my hat is off to you, because I would tell you, in 1977, I came home from school. I was a sophomore. I came home from school. My father met me outside the house. I knew something was wrong. My dad was never home at that time. My other brother, who didn't live at home, was at the front yard with my little sister. I knew something was wrong. I had no clue. I was just a dorky kid coming home from school. And my father tells me that my oldest brother had been in an accident, was in the hospital. My father couldn't get to the point where it turns out that, yes, my brother was in the hospital, but he was in the morgue. And the challenge, of course, my mother was destroyed, which you obviously understand. And I did not understand this at that time. And I give much deference and grace to my mother, God rest her soul. But my mother was an alcoholic and had been for a long time. And with this, she only went further into her alcoholism. And then she got a full-blown case of agoraphobia, where she would never leave the house.
I went through that a little bit. Sometimes I had to, but I didn't if I didn't have to.
Right. And then the only thing that got my mom ever out of the house was my younger sister went to school in New Mexico, and she figured a way to go there. Anyway, my mother also smoked 2 to 3 packs of cigarettes a day for most of her adult life. And then in January 1st of 1997, she went home due to a cholangiocarcinoma, and I was stationed overseas. I missed her by 3 days of seeing her, but I was on the phone a lot with her, so I don't feel like I missed her. But the point is that combination of the addiction to alcohol, the loss of her firstborn child, not that she ever played favorites, none of that, the loss of that, and then everything else. And on top of that, my father, who had been in the military, I don't know how many of you all come from military families, but they don't overpay us, right? At least, particularly my father, he made $27 a month at one point in time. So mom was integral to the success of the family. Well, when my father retired and he had his education, he got a really good job. All of a sudden, mom went from being integrally important to the success of the family, right? She used to get underneath the front end of the car or one of the cars and push it up with her legs. And my dad would change tires from one car to another to go to a different job. My mom was buck wild, strong. She was gorgeous. She was flexible, right? She went from all of that to my dad making so much extra money that mom didn't have to do anything, and he doted on her hand and foot. So all this came together as a perfect storm for her, right? So having lived through that first person as her son, I can definitely relate to what you're saying, and I can honestly say that my heart is gladdened to hear you fighting for yourself, and that is without a doubt the toughest journey. So thank you for sharing, Karen.
No problem.
Hey,
You'll
guys,
hear more about it eventually.
I gotta get off of here. Gotta head to bed. Got a big day on the road tomorrow. But it was great.
All right. Well, I appreciate you, Brett, for coming in. And we all know who's your carnivore.
Yeah.
Brett's your carnivore.
Great chatting with you guys. And Karen, thank you for sharing that story. It's
Sure.
and you too, Scott. And very nice.
Brett's my neighbor in Indiana.
Where are you from?
I'm in Southern Illinois. I mean, you're up north farther than me, but still next door.
Yeah. So, all righty. Well,
All right. You take care of yourself, buddy. Thanks for blessing us with your presence.
great to come in. Thanks for having me.
You
Bye.
betcha.
See ya.
All right. Bye-bye. Hey, Lisa, no worries. You're bouncing back and forth. I mean, come on. It's all good. And Susan, I was reading your comment there, and I understand sometimes our infirmaries, whatever they may be, we'll do that too. Okay, Susan, you take care. Oh yeah, gosh darn it, it is 11:30 at night. Ooh-wee.
Watch it, Scott. You're going to turn into a pumpkin.
I know. I already got a pumpkin head. Like I said, I got a head like my uncle's on Easter Island.
Oh, there's Lisa. She's another neighbor in Indiana.
Yeah, my brother lives up in Elkhart, Indiana.
Yeah, they're all up north. I'm only about an hour north of Paducah, Kentucky.
I drive through there all the time because my father-in-law and mother-in-law lived in Champaign-Urbana.
Yep, you'd come right through here on I-57.
Yep.
That's about 9 miles to the east of me.
Okay, and I was stationed at Scott Air Force Base and outside, just a little bit east of East St. Louis in Belleville, Illinois.
Belleville. Yep.
All righty. Well, I know it's late. And hello, Michael. Good night to everybody. And I think I'm going to use this as an off ramp here. So I know Susan's out there in South Carolina, South Kakalaki. So appreciate everybody coming in. Karen, thank you for joining us this evening. And we will reunite most likely tomorrow night. If you want to come on, I'll wait till most of the people get off their lives, and I'll throw up this after party / late night at Scotty's. So I appreciate you. Any final words, Miss Karen?
Nope. I'm good. Have a good one. Thank you.
All right, you do the same. Everybody have a great evening. I hope each one of you are blessed by our Lord and Savior tomorrow and through your night. And again, we'll see you around the neighborhood. Take care now. Bye-bye.